And WCW.com Jimmy Mathis show starts now.
No, we have sound. Just let them wait. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jimmy Mathis Show. With you till 8 o'clock, 410-922-6680. The new website, JimmyMathisShow.com. Follow me on Twitter at Jimmy Mathis Show. Donald Trump delivering on another campaign promise, I guess. Saying that Donald Trump on the campaign trail, stating that he was going to enforce the red line that Barack Obama talked about. That Barack Obama was either unwilling, unable, or never had any intention to enforce, which is a globally we all acknowledge that chemical weapons have to be off the table. There's nothing new to that. And that is what Barack Obama said many years ago. Bashar Assad can go ahead and kill as many people as he wants, but can't use chemical weapons to do it. That is the red line. And because Barack Obama was such a petulant leader, Assad never took him serious and used chemical weapons on his own people. And what was the response? Nothing. Then, last April, shortly into Donald Trump's presidency, Donald Trump responds and launches 59 missiles into Syria. And evidently that wasn't enough. And then Assad uses chemical weapons against his own people again, against children. You look at the horrific images coming out of Aleppo, out of Syria, whatever your politics are. At some point, there has to be a line that we do not cross as human beings. As global partners, as a global family, things that just, from a humanitarian standpoint, are not acceptable. Which is why globally we have come to an agreement in the past that using chemical weapons will not be tolerated. Donald Trump said he would respond, and he did, talking to the nation at 9 p.m. last night.
My fellow Americans, a short time ago, I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets associated with the chemical weapons capabilities of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. A combined operation with the armed forces of France and the United Kingdom is now underway.
And the left lost their mind. The left said that this was wag the dog. That the only reason that Donald Trump had launched this missile strike was to divert attention. Then about an hour, not about, exactly an hour, do me a favor, give me the Mathis sound. An hour exactly after Donald Trump addressed the nation, it was only about a 7-minute address. Immediately following that address, the missiles flew, and within the hour, James Mathis then addressed the nation.
That will depend on Mr. Assad should he decide to use more chemical weapons in the future, and of course the powers that have signed the chemical weapons prohibition have every reason to challenge Assad should he choose to violate that. But right now, this is a one-time shot, and I believe that it sent a very strong message to dissuade him, to deter him from doing this again.
The question to Mr. Mathis was, is this going to be a prolonged attack, or is this a one-shot deal? Donald Trump speaking, addressing the nation at 9 o'clock, said, we're going to do whatever we have to do. This may drag out, it may not. Mathis saying that we think we got the job done. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is within 45 minutes of the missiles touching down in Syria. Then this morning, Donald Trump tweets out mission accomplished, and the left really lost their mind, because mission accomplished obviously is synonymous right now with President Bush on the aircraft carrier saying victory in Iraq. Well, the mission was accomplished. The mission was to take out these factories, these facilities. That was the mission. The mission was not to reestablish a government, a constitution, a military in Syria. That wasn't the mission. The mission was accomplished. Now, look, I'm no military scholar here. Going after Assad was off of the table. That was also asked by James Mathis during the briefing from the Pentagon at 10 o'clock last night. Was Assad a target? And Defense Secretary Mathis said, no, we're going strategically after facilities where they develop and create these weapons. I don't understand why Assad was not a target on this. I really don't. See, here's the difference, ladies and gentlemen, between Syria, North Korea, Iraq. There's a major difference. Syria is in the middle of a civil war. There's not really a functioning government. You already have the mass exodus of people that are trying to escape that country. You don't have that right now in North Korea. Now, Kim Jong-un is not a good guy, okay? I'm not giving him my blessing. Neither was Saddam Hussein. But the problem when you took out the leader in those countries, Libya would be another example, Egypt would be another. This vacuum that is created. Well, the vacuum's already there in Syria. That horse is out of the barn. So I'm not really sure what the problem would have been sending one more missile to the presidential palace. Now, the left would say, this is how you escalate into major wars. Now, the way you escalate into major wars, I was listening to Mark Levin on Thursday, talking about Holocaust Remembrance Day. The way you escalate into major world wars is by turning a blind eye and pretending that nothing's happening and allowing the Assads or the Hitlers or the Stalins of the world to marinate. That's how you escalate into world wars. And the left is very upset about all this because, and I hate talking about Barack Obama or George Bush or any previous president, because I really believe that when you run for that office, you understand what you're getting into. And when you ask for the ball and you take the shot, it's your shot. The rest of the game doesn't matter. But let's be very honest about something here. We are cleaning up what was left over from the Obama administration when it comes to what's happening in Syria right now, among other places around the world. And it drives the left nuts. Now, does this mean that we've heard the end of Assad? No. But you know what else hasn't happened? All the experts, all the pundits, all the strategists on radio and television saying, you don't want to do this. You're going to poke the bear. The bear of who? Russia? Syria? Now, Russia can talk, and they will. That's what they do. We're not going to see a response from Russia. We gave them ample time to obviously get their people out of the way. And for a change, we had a leader that said, this is what we are going to do. And by the way, we had other countries with us. We had Germany. We had France. We didn't go at this alone. And even if we did, so what? I mean, all the criticism that Donald Trump has caught, and I got to tell you something, listening to his very short address to the nation, it reminded me of Ronald Reagan. One more clip from it, 9 o'clock last night.
The United States will be a partner and a friend, but the fate of the region lies in the hands of its own people. In the last century, we looked straight into the darkest places of the
Pray, pray, pray will be the next one, all right?
We
Right.
saw the anguish that can be unleashed and the evil that can take hold. By the end of World War I, more than 1 million people had been killed or injured by chemical weapons. We never want to see that ghastly specter return.
Sounded very Reagan-esque to me. And as a fairly young American, since I've been paying attention to this, I can't think of a president that has sounded that articulate, saying that we're getting ready to levy a military strike. And he's right about World War I. and II. And it ties into the Holocaust. And in this country, you can say what you will, and we can spend all the time that we want talking about the dossier and Mueller and all the theatrics, but what this country was craving was a leader. And a lot of frustration with this country constantly leading from behind. And if you want a compare and contrast, look at the difference between Barack Obama and Donald Trump. Barack Obama draws the red line. It says, look, I'm going to give you some slack in the leash. Here's the line. This is it. It's like scoring a touchdown, right? You break the plane. If you do this, there's going to be consequences. Were there? No. And there never were. Remember Benjamin Netanyahu at the UN meeting years ago when he literally is drawing the Mighty Mouse bomb on the whiteboard? Trying to articulate to the president where Iran is on acquiring the bomb? Mr. President, here's the line. It's at the very top. And what does Barack Obama do? Takes an airplane, okay, with crates of cash, and and then along with the help of Congress, they flip the treaty provision on its head, and they fast track Iran to the bomb. And now you have Damascus in Syria that is a stone throw away from Israel. Country is looking for leadership. That's why they voted for Donald Trump. Now, there's enough criticism to go around on other things, but I got to tell you, when it comes to foreign policy and everybody's so concerned with him having his finger on the button and watching all of the pundits last night breaking this down, their frustration was we had the leader of the free world that did something. What a novel idea. A commander-in-chief that actually led. And a mission that was accomplished. How is the left not loving this? The entire attack took 50 minutes. There were no boots on the ground. No Americans were lost. I don't know what the final numbers are on Syrian civilian casualties, but very small numbers. And by the way, you drop bombs, okay? Things break, people die. We're not the ones that are gassing our own people to the tune of hundreds of thousands, that are using chemical weapons on children. You look at the pictures of the people coming out of Aleppo, and the media and the pundits, their problem is with Donald Trump that's trying to put an end to it. When he has a coalition of other nations that are on board. It's truly stunning to me. I'm talking about the national pundits. This is wag the dog. Wag the dog for what? After all the investigations and the dossier that was proven to be false, and the media that has been carrying the water for all this craziness for the last year, what have we learned? Nothing. Other than Donald Trump gets a little upset when he is under a constant year attack on him being with prostitutes and golden showers and things that you can't even say on the radio. I guess after a year, that gets under your skin. Chris West did it to me for a couple months. It got under my skin. I get it. Can you imagine that on the national stage when you are trying to lead the United States of America? I guess that gets old after a while. God forbid the guy fights back. He does it via Twitter. That's the weapon he has to communicate directly to his countrymen. So what? And the liberal media is so engulfed in their vitriolic hatred for this guy that they can't even see through the woods and go, you know what? Maybe it's good. Look, I mean, there's no Americans that were lost in this. Okay, we took out some of the facilities where they're creating these chemical weapons. A week after Assad is killing scores of his own people and children, and the humanitarian crisis is going over in Aleppo. And by the way, I thought that Donald Trump was in bed with the Russians and Putin anyway. But that's what really gets under their skin, isn't it? But there's also a reason why the media right now has no credibility, ladies and gentlemen. Jam-packed show. WCBN political contributor Tyrone Keys joins us after this. Also, Roger Stone for the Stone Zone. Jack Posobiec will be in studio after the 7 o'clock news. And Congressman Andy Harris will also be joining us in the 7 o'clock hour. You are listening to the Jimmy Mathis Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBN.